Hey beginners, let's have some great strumming practice right here on our acoustic using a thumb. Hey, Paul here, PZ Guitar, your virtual practice partner. This is where we practice. There's no intimidation here. This is not a place to show off chops and things like that. I don't have any. But this is a place where we can practice, and we can practice together. It's like having a virtual private practice lesson. And that's what this is. We're going to practice. And today we're going to practice one progression, a 1, 2, 6, 5 progression in my favorite guitar key, the key of G. And we have one strumming pattern. So that way we can just concentrate on just a few things here. This is primarily a right-hand drill, but it's also, if you're a beginner, a place to practice chord changes. And so we're doing two things here at once. So we're doing some chord changes, we're minimizing the amount of chord changes, and we're going to do it slowly, and we're going to just do this again and loop back and loop back and loop back. Go back to the beginning of the chapter and do it again and do it again. And just we do it nice and slow, and practice it until you get good at it, and then move on to another lesson. So on the screen, I'm going to put the today's documentation that I hope that you screenshot and print out and make your own virtual PZ guitar library of strum patterns and chord shapes. You know, that's like a free bonus material right then and there. So here it is. Today, 1, 2, 6, 5 in the key of G. So that's a G, A minor, E minor, and a D. So that's a G, A minor, E minor, D. And our strum pattern is going to be down, down, up, down, down, change. I'm not going to give you an up strum on the end of 4. I want to give you plenty of time to position yourself for the next chord change. I don't want this to become a frustration event. So we're going to do this nice and slow. If you have a problem going from one chord to another chord, skip that chord. You know, do the G twice in a row instead of going to the A minor or whatever it may be. But this is really, you know, if something pops up that you're not doing well, that's an indication that that's something you need to practice offline. Perhaps like a 1-minute change between, let's say, like the G chord and a D. But here it's going to be D, A minor, E minor, D. So today we're going to do our progression, a 1, 2, 6, 5 in the key of D, my favorite guitar key. D, A minor, D, A minor, E minor, D. And instead of using a pick, I'm using my thumb today. Today's a thumb day, an acoustic day. I recently did a video about how to practice quietly. And using your thumb is one of the ways that you can do that. And I'm going to be using the thumb, I'm going to be using it this way. I'm not going to be doing it like this, where on the up strum I'm going to be using my nail. I'm just going to be using the fleshy part, all by itself. Now, because it is quieter, I decided that I'm going to plug in, and I have my second lava mic over by the amplifier here, so that way you can hear the guitar, because I think that's important. But I think it's also important that you learn how to use the thumb. So here we go. A 1, 2, 6, 5 in G, D, A minor, E minor, D. Here we go. A minor. E minor, D, A minor, E minor, D, back to the top G. E minor. Two more. A minor, E minor, D. Last time through. Let's end on G. Hey, stick around for some tips. Hey, thanks for sticking around. The best tips that I can give, and I've said this, I don't know how many times, virtually every strumming drill there is I've given, is keep your hand moving. Just keep it going, going, going. Don't ever stop moving up and down. You know, sometimes you'll strum it on the down strum, sometimes you'll strum it on the up strum, sometimes you'll skip it. Just keep your hand going. This is your rhythm machine right here. Is keep this going. If you try and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You haven't had the muscle experience, the guitar experience, the music experience yet to do that. But it's much easier just to It's just much easier to keep your hand moving. Keep your hand moving as opposed to that's too hard and it doesn't sound as good. If you are coming across a chord combination that is a problem, that's a key for you to practice that by itself, to do 1-minute changes on that particular chord combination. If you're having a problem going from G, I'm using the rock and roll G, the 4-finger G, you know, 3, 2, open, open, 3, 3. If you're having a problem going between the G and the A minor, then practice that combination for a minute. You know, you can either do single strums or you can do whatever sounds more musical, whatever gets you get your fingers accustomed to making those very precise, minute changes to form that chord and to do it on time. That's the key, is to be able to do these. You're asking your offhand, probably your offhand, because you're probably strumming with your dominant hand, because strumming is a lot like writing. So you're used to this movement. And here you're asking yourself to do very precise things on very particular strings, and in time with the strums. And so it gets, that's why we practice. That's why we practice here. You know, and roll the tape back and do it again. Roll the tape back and do it again. Do that 2 or 3 times, and if you still don't get it, put it away for the day. Take it later in the day or later at night, or do it tomorrow. Do it again. It takes a lot of strums to get it right. Some strums are easier, some chord combinations are easier than others. But so if you get frustrated, stop, do something else, or just stop and pick it up tomorrow. So right now, it's time to do the Chuck Norris quote of the day. So I urge you to leave me your favorite Chuck Norris quote. I would love to hear that in the comments. And also, go visit the Chuck Norris. I have a description. In the description, I have a Chuck Norris link to Amazon, an affiliate link to Chuck Norris gifts. Some of them are just hysterically funny. So here's today's Chuck Norris quote. Chuck Norris does not own a stove, an oven, or a microwave, only a freezer. Revenge is best served cold. Wow. Leave a comment to your favorite Chuck Norris quote. Love to hear them, love to compile them. I think they're hysterically funny. Leave a comment or a question about today's lesson. What you want to practice, what things are giving you problems. We can practice them together. I'll put a lesson together and we'll practice them together. This is what this is all about. It's about practice. It's about building a community of like-minded people to have what I call, back from my tennis days, a mutually beneficial relationship. So until then, keep strumming. I'll see you soon.